Operation area secure.
All objectives complete. Stand down.
I'll be the first to admit, I was super bummed when it was revealed Call of Duty Black Ops 4 would not have a single player mode. I may have been in the minority, but I enjoyed those mindless 6 to 8 hour action-packed roller coaster rides through epic set pieces and cheesy dialogue. So when I heard the franchise was ditching the campaign in favor of a battle royale money-making machine, I legitimately contemplated walking away from Call of Duty altogether. Sure, over the years I've spent countless hours in the traditional multiplayer matches, and zombies is always a riot, but a Call of Duty game without a story mode feels like an incomplete experience to me. Then the Black Ops 4 beta came along, and all that was old felt new again. The multiplayer beta, which dropped before the Blackout beta, had a familiar yet fresh feeling. And Blackout, which is, by the way, Call of Duty's Battle Royale mode, surpassed all my expectations. Sure, my kill-death ratio was hot garbage, but I had a time, and even in beta pre-release, which was full of bugs, Blackout was far superior to PUBG and even Fortnite. That's right, I said it, better than Fortnite. So I guess I won't be walking away after all, not by a long shot. It's definitely not all doom and gloom for a franchise that, in the first time in its history, decided to drop a traditional story mode. But let's face it, the success of Black Ops 4 begins and ends with Blackout. I know it, you know it, and Activision knows it. But if you played the beta, you already know it's rock solid, and after spending significant time with the full release version of Blackout, it remains a tight and superb battle royale experience. Sure, it is far from perfect. It has plenty of room for growth, but compared to the competition, Black Ops 4 is heads and shoulders above the rest. The vehicles, they handle wonderfully, and there are plenty of weapons and loot to pick up. You'll feel right at home with those familiar Call of Duty snap controls. Not to mention the gameplay is as intense as you could possibly imagine. While the map itself is massive, it's the biggest in franchise history. And I loved how the map features plenty of verticality, which prevents those proficient with snipers from completely dominating the action. Of course, the inclusion of zombies in various locations is a brilliant touch. It runs silky smooth, and the Call of Duty brand of combat really shines in this mode. I also love the way Blackout allows you to play the way you want to play. You can wingsuit into Nuketown Island and engage in chaotic shootouts right from the onset. Likewise, you can find yourself in a cozy spot away from the action and just slowly, methodically plod your way towards that inner circle. It's this varied, intense style of gameplay that really shines and makes Blackout so addicting. Coming out on top is thrilling, while coming in second can be absolutely soul-crushing. My complaints with Blackout are really nitpicky in nature. I really don't have any major complaints. Sure, you could argue they aren't redefining the battle royale genre in any way, and are more or less copying Fortnite and PUBG, but there is no question Blackout is the battle royale game Call of Duty fans want. But some of my nitpicky complaints? Well, I found that searching through downed opponents' loot or opening those supply drop crates a bit cumbersome. I definitely prefer Fortnite's approach, where everything spills out of the supply crates. Likewise, some of the visuals appeared a bit murky, and certainly lack the polish that we've seen in some of those traditional Call of Duty multiplayer maps. Now I get it, this is likely due to ensuring the game is optimized to run in the best possible way, and believe me, it runs smoothly, but nevertheless, visually Blackout isn't the best looking Call of Duty multiplayer map we've ever seen. Speaking of which, Black Ops 4 features 14 maps out of the box. Plus in November, we get a downloadable Nuketown map. Surprisingly enough, however, 4 of those maps are remakes. Granted, they look nice, they play smoothly, and are perfectly balanced, but I cannot help but be a little disappointed nearly a third of the game's quote-unquote new maps are remakes. Has Treyarch run out of ideas? Did the multiplayer team not have enough resources to come up with new levels? Whatever the reason, Black Ops 4 has a few too many retreads, so I cannot help but be a little disappointed with the roster of maps this year. That said, 14 out of the box is pretty good, and it's more than what we got last year with World War II. That being said, the games themselves are fast, they're fluid, they're frantic, the weapons feel great, and Treyarch has once again established themselves as the Call of Duty development team that really knows its fan base and delivers exactly what the Call of Duty community wants. There's no wall running, boost jumping, it is a no-frills, boots on the ground experience. The multiplayer game also feels a little bit more tactical this time around. The specialists are back, and you can check out each character's backstory in some slick little cutscenes. The The specialists all have unique abilities as well, so they certainly add a layer of strategy to that run and gun style of gameplay. Aside from the new heist mode, which is pretty fun, Black Ops 4 doesn't offer much in the way of new modes or new gameplay mechanics. It feels and plays nearly identical to other Call of Duty games. I'm a little disappointed we aren't getting much in the way of innovation this year, but hey, if it ain't broke, then don't fix, right? This year is the 10th anniversary of Call of Duty Zombies, and Black Ops 4 is celebrating by giving us their biggest launch ever with 3 full zombie experiences right out of the box, which is pretty cool. My favorite of the new maps is easily 9. This map is set in Rome and throws you in the pit of a coliseum where all sorts of ancient zombies come at you from every direction. This visually stunning map features menacing enemies and a slick layout. The other 2 maps, Voyage of Despair, which takes place aboard the RMS Titanic, and Blood of the Dead, which features origin characters from previous Zombies storylines, are equally solid. There are a few new wrinkles added to the mix, but much like the rest of the Black Ops 4 package, there isn't much of an overhaul to the modes that fans love. Frankly, that's okay, as fans of Zombies games should be plenty pleased with what you get at launch. One thing is for certain, Black Ops 4 is easily the best multiplayer experience we have seen from the franchise to date. With a robust lineup of multiplayer maps, 3 graphically stunning zombie experiences, and featuring the best battle royale shooter on the planet, Call of Duty fans should be thrilled with what Black Ops 4 is offering. Sure, the lack of a single player mode is a bit of a downer, and I do feel like Activision is positioning itself to monetize the crap out of Blackout. Yet at the end of the day, Black Ops 4 is the definitive Call of Duty multiplayer experience and is primed to take a big chunk out of PUBG and Fortnite's market share.